Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, with a constant ghost over here.
Gavin Franklin.
That's him. And for those on the YouTube, the man's got some glasses. He can finally see us.
I do have glasses. I have another thing too. My mother purchased this shirt for me. I don't know if you guys can read it. It's one of those Walmart shirts, but it says, "I heard there was heresy and got here as soon as I could." Can't remember what it said there.
Apparently, it needs another pair of glasses since I can't fucking read in these ones.
Yeah, it was a nice gift. I was like, "Thanks, Mom. I'll wear that on my podcast."
I'll make sure I stand up as often as I can.
Yeah, it was nice of her though.
Your mom, what a saint of a woman.
Yep. So this week, what is the beer that you have?
So I have two. I don't know if I'll drink both, but the first one, I don't think I've had this on the podcast, and if I have, I doubt it was this one specifically. But I have the Sapporo Premium Beer. I'm pretty sure this is like a. Well, I am so fucking. I really thought this was a Japanese beer.
My God, man. Figure
But
your
this
shit
says
out.
Ontario, Canada on it. So now my whole life has just been flipped upside down. But up here it also says Wisconsin. So someone somewhere is fucking lying. Oh, okay. This one says product of Canada. It is a Canadian beer.
You know, what's so crazy is you have like triple thick glasses on. Your glasses are like 7 inches thick, and you can't even read a beer bottle. And here you are giving me shit.
Hey man,
You
I
told
had to
me
have the extra thick glasses because my nose is extra big, so it kind of like balances it out.
my eye doctor was like, "Man, you got some amazing eyes."
Sir, are you trying to fuck me?
Sir. So I have a repeater beer. I've ran out of beer to have on the podcast. This is like the second repeater I've had, I think, but it is my favorite beer. It is Gumball Head. I had a bunch of it. Yeah. So this is what I'm drinking today. You all notice this is actually my favorite beer of all time. So there you go.
Yeah, perfect. As always, guys, hop on the Discord. You find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. And also email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you want to get on the Discord, hit me up in a comment and I will give that to you. Yeah. So this week is a special-ish episode. We will not be discussing a book. We kind of just have a couple of hodgepodge things we want to talk about. Gavin had some more tournament drama. We got to hear all about that.
It's like days of our lives now.
Yeah, it's enjoyable for me. And then we also had a suggestion about some like character story arcs that we would like to either see more of or see die. And we're talking about those and maybe how we would like to see them die.
Yeah, how we want those ended. So should I jump into the drama?
Yes.
Buckle your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts. Because this is an interesting topic because it's something that I think happens to a lot of people at some point during their tournament plays if they play competitively, and it's one of those things that like you can find Reddits about it everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's all over the place. YouTube videos specifically covering this topic.
Yeah. And I mean, he was so upset. He called me at like 11 o'clock and I was like, dude, I just need to vent for like 10 minutes. I was like, all right, that's fine. What's up?
It was so frustrating. So went to a tournament just outside St. Louis. It was an RTT. It's about 20 players. The store that it was at, coolest store I've ever seen for an RTT. Like they had an outdoor patio and they had all the tables in the garage, like this big garage in the back. So it was really cool. And all the people there were really awesome people. I got invited to other tournaments throughout the year and I got some like email from people and stuff like that. And it was just super awesome. It was a good time. So went to my first game. I've been doing a lot of practicing, been doing a lot of stuff, and I got a perfect score. So I was very excited about that. It was like 100 to 36. I played some Space Wolves. Sorry, she had to leave right there.
No, it was really funny. At one point, she was like really leaning over the couch, and then she couldn't get like back up over it.
I'm gonna tell her that got caught on camera. She's gonna be really embarrassed. So yeah, I was facing Space Wolves. This guy wasn't like a super competitive player, but like it was fun. Like it was a good game. Like that was one of the guys I got. He invited me to a tournament he was hosting. Super awesome guy. We had a good time. Then I played some great nights. I basically played your list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The second game was Grey Knights, and I told him, I was like, I need to let you know I played this list like 3 times this last weekend. So I'm just warning you now. And as Tau, I played you as Thousand Suns and pulled
Yeah.
off a win and a loss. And this Tau was just disgusting. It was murderous. I think I didn't get a perfect game. I think I got 97. I missed one turn of Stranglehold.
Dang.
One turn. Yeah. So it was just, I don't know. It was really cool. The guy got super upset though. He was kind of raging. He was like, "This is
Oh, really?
bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit." And I'm like, "All right."
Kinda. That
Yeah, I
sucks for
mean,
you.
yeah, I guess, but like
I mean, if did he
why are
like
you
keep his paladins in cover and like shove fucking armored resilience up their ass?
well, he was playing with 3 Dread Knights.
Oh, that was the mistake.
Yeah, he had 5 paladins.
Oh, that's the mistake there. He needed more
Yeah.
paladins.
He just didn't have a lot of units. And the thing is, like, even the game was so. He actually ended up getting like 70 points. It was a very impressive loss, but that's just because of like purifying ritual, um, yeah, stuff like that. But like being able to take Arbor the Witch, demolishing. To like I can take To the Last and Arbor the Witch, and all I have to worry about is getting points with my like second things and killing people. He asked me at the end of the game, he was like, well, what I couldn't have even done anything. Like what could I have done? I was like, honestly, I would have just not put any I wouldn't have come at me at all. I would keep everybody hidden and send one troop at a time to take the middle for Stranglehold, and that is it. Like that's all you should have done on a game. I would have gotten less points for Arbor the Witch. You would have gotten your Stranglehold. You would have gotten your Purifying Ritual as long as you were able to get it in the middle. I can't deny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you would have scored max points. But yeah, I would have gotten to the last, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
Mhm.
That's the way I would have played it. Just like literally doing nothing. Um. So anyway, that was the first 2 games. Really fun, and then I got top table. So at the time I went to top table, I had a score of 197. So I was like by far in first place. And then there was a big like struggle for the second person who was going to get top table. It was between Custodes and some Dark Angels because they have their permanent transhuman right now, and that's pretty nasty when you're doing like high strength hits like Custodes. So the Custodes ended up winning, and we had like an hour and a half before our next game. So a lot of us were just standing there talking, whatever. And here's the thing. So game starts. I'm facing Custodes. And this is the part where I think I would love to hear what people's thoughts on this is. Whether or not they think I got screwed, whether or not I should just like get over it, whether or not this guy did an okay thing or a terrible thing, or even if you think it should be against the rules. I think personally, I think this was borderline red card. If you guys aren't familiar with tournament play, it's very similar to soccer. You get a yellow card and a red card, and you're ejected from the tournament. Um, I do want to point out before I start with this guy was actually really nice. Like he was cool. He was a cool guy. I think he didn't realize how shitty the thing he did was. So, he, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the game, there are so many freaking rules to 40K.
So yeah.
So many. So, like, you have your base rule book, you have your rule book for every army, the FAQ for both of those. You have the rules for the mission. You have rules that'll come out for like the updates, the armor compendiums. Like there is so much that goes into knowing what the fuck is going on. Some shit even comes out in White Dwarf. Like that's how many rules. So it becomes like a bit of a gentleman's agreement, essentially, that you go over your armies. And that's you do that pretty much at every tournament play, unless you're playing like super top tables where both players just kind of say, "Yeah, I know what your army does." You know what I mean? And when I say super top tables, I mean like GT top tables, not RTT. 15 people from rural Illinois getting together to play. So he goes over his list pretty quickly, and he has 2 squads of 6 bikes. And if anyone's familiar with the Custodes bikes, they're very deadly. So I'm looking at that. That's over half of his points in his list because he also has a bike captain. So he has a total of 13 bikes. That's a lot of fucking Custodes bikes. And he kind of goes over some of the stuff that some special abilities that his characters have and stuff like that. So we go over my list and I let him know everything that kind of what we consider what are called gotcha moments. Any sort of thing that like you could spring on your opponent that they may not know that could just win you the game. For instance, things like pre-game moves. I let him know that my Kroot, my Devilfish get pre-game moves. I let him know that I get redeployments. He informed me that he had 2 redeployments and all that fun stuff. So he wins deployment roll-off. So he starts to deploy first, and the first thing he drops is a squad of 6 bikes right in the front of his deployment zone, as far up as he can deploy. So I ask him some questions about that because I'm realizing he's setting up for a turn 1 charge. When you get aggressive with your bikes like that, you're trying to do a turn 1 charge because they're great melee. I was like, okay, what's their maximum threat range? And he said, well, they move 14 inches and then they can charge. It's like, can they advance and charge? No. So I'm like, okay. I start pre-measuring the distance of basically 26 inches, the maximum they can get to, right? And I start deploying all my things. And I told him, like, I'm going to deploy all these guys to make sure I don't get turn 1 charge, like playing by intent kind of thing, just in case I'm like half a quarter of an inch in or whatever. Then I could be like, okay, I did say I deployed them out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this whole time we get through, I'm being very cautious about the way I deploy, making sure I can't get, because I also took to the last. So another important thing, the secondaries I took, my highest point units don't get killed, and I get points. He took a secondary that said if my highest point unit gets killed in melee, then they get 15 points.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a custode thing. So this is very important for what happened. So I make sure that all of those units are outside of the boundaries of a turn 1 charge. Game starts, he wins roll off to go first. And he says, okay, well, I'm going to pay a CP to do a stratagem that allows my bike to make a pre-game move of 14 inches. So everything in my army is now within range of a first turn charge, and it is so frustrating because I had no idea you could do that. I was asking him questions like, what's the max threat range? Letting him know I was deploying out a turn 1 charge. When we went over armies, I went through my things that I could do pre-game moves, and it was literally just one of those things where he was like, he actually told me too. He's like, well, I was debating about whether or not I should tell you, but I thought because it was a stratagem, I didn't have to tell you. So his entire plan was banking on me not knowing about this strat to do a pre-game move.
But shitty.
Yeah, I think it's very shitty. And as a matter of fact, Atio was there. And in my opinion, if you ask somebody like what's their max threat range, that includes a turn 1 14-inch movement.
Yeah,
Pre-game 14-inch
probably.
movement. So the idea is like he kind of just flat out lied to me. And he kind of said stuff like, well, it really didn't matter. I would have gotten a turn 1 charge off anyway. I'm like, true, you would have, but I would have made sure that it was against units that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because turn 1, he killed a hammerhead, he killed a unit of crisis suits, tied up 1 crisis commander in combat, my ethereal in combat. I was just like, I was fucked. And it was just a lot of stuff that happened on that one, and it was rough. It was a very frustrating game for sure. So that is what happened. I think it's very. I also heard that he had gotten first turn on all 3 of his other games, or all 2 of his other games. So that is kind of like how he was winning the tournament. He did end up winning by a lot. I was after that turn, I was crushed. There was nothing I could do. He was so far in my face, and then the next turn, I would have had the other bike squad in my face with the bike captain. And I was just like, shit. So it didn't work out for me. I ended up losing by so much that I went from a 40-point lead in first place to fourth place. I didn't even get a prize in the tournament.
Yeah, that sucks.
So it was annoying. He brought up stuff like, well, why didn't you deep strike in the back to try and take out my back line? I'm like, that's a fair enough point. But the idea is if you kill my most expensive unit in melee, which is in my back line, that was a 20-point swing. He gets 15 points for killing it, and I lose 5 points if it dies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to put whatever I can to prevent that from happening because it's going to take you it's going to take you 3 turns of scoring Stranglehold and Primary almost to even make up for that point swing. So
that sucks so bad.
Yeah, a bit of a rough thing there. If you guys are playing Warhammer, there's a lot of debate about when you warn people about stratagems, when you warn people about rules. Some people say if they're at a tournament and they're at top table, which is the scenario I was in. It was an RTT. It was a very small tournament, very friendly competition. I don't think that applies there. I don't believe that winning by a gotcha moment is a good victory.
No. Honestly, it's just like poor etiquette. Like no one wants to like I would have been so shitty if that happened to me, and I'm sure that guy would have been shitty if it happened to him. So like if it's gonna make you shitty, let the other person also know.
Yeah, I told him too. I was like, hey, like, I think this game would have went drastically differently if I knew about that turn one move. And he was like, that's when he kind of said, oh, I didn't know that I had to tell you, that kind of thing. And I was like, well, technically it is up to you, but in the future, I would think that would be a good thing to tell your opponent that you can do.
Yeah.
Because you can't, there is this huge expectation based off that your opponent knows the rules to your army, which is not a thing that can occur. So it got me thinking about the competitive play and the level of player that I'm currently at and what I have to do to get to the next level. And in truth, like the people this is basically the way it works, right? You have the people at my level who are one of two people. Either me, who just like puts together a good list and knows how to play it and knows the rules to my army well. Then you have people like him who puts together an okay list, but kind of cheats his way to the top. And I think both of them are at the same level because typically what will happen is that person who cheats will win an RTT. I've seen this happen twice, 3 times almost already. So the next level player, the one that barely goes to RTTs and just goes to GTs, honestly, are the people that just know all the rules. That is the next step. Like you just kind of have to be on top of it all the time, like know the rules to each of the different sub factions and all that stuff, which is a lot, but it's just
That
kind of
sounds
the next
miserable.
step. Yeah. And then like those people will take like the craziest armies to GTs, you know, like they'll take the Tyranids right now to GTs and just crush up to the top table. And then you have what I would consider your apex player, and I only think there's about 20 of them in the entire world right now, which is like Richard Siegler, where he says, oh, not only do I know all the armies, but instead of building an army that crushes because it's really overpowered, I'm going to build an army that's really good at killing the overpowered list.
Yeah.
And then he just wins the rest of the games until he gets the top tables and kills that.
Yeah, dude's nuts. I mean, he like won with AdMech last season. Well, like they weren't even meta at the time. I did like a 30 or 40% win rate. And he just won the top tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, like you think of like John Lennon, which I know some of you may not know John Lennon. He is also an Art of War guy. I'm not talking about the Beatles singer, I'm talking about a very famous Warhammer player. He just won like a big GT with Tyranids, but he took a list that was completely different than every other Tyranids list, and it was designed to kill Tyranids, which is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the kind of list these guys kind of make is how, yeah, it's powerful, but what kills the powerful thing? And that's where you get to the apex. And a lot of people think they can just skip to the top, but I think it's a ladder you have to kind of climb. So you got to learn all the rules. You got to know how to play your army. It's just like year after year, you get better.
And
So,
also, at the end of the day, there's also luck too. You gotta have good dice rolls.
you know, I was thinking about this, and it was very frustrating to me. I hate playing against custodes. Custodes are so annoying because they have a 4-up invuln. I think that invulns are the worst concept in the game.
Yeah, they suck. They're annoying.
And I play shield drones.
Which are the most annoying things on the planet.
A 5-up invuln makes sense. A 4-up invuln is literally just a 50-50 swing.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because you face custodes, and what could happen is you like, let's say with a 4-up invuln, you're gonna roll 20 saves a shooting phase against Tau, right? Because like they're tough 5.
Yeah.
So like they're pretty hard to get through. So you go through all that. 20 saves at a 4-up invuln, you can get lucky. You can make 15 of them.
Yeah.
You can make 16 of them. That's not crazy. So you could have like a really, really good turn with custodes, or you could have a really shit turn with custodes. And that's why I think you don't see custodes at top tables as much as you do anymore, because they're just so swingy. Like they don't have a lot of fire output. They don't have a lot of wounds. Since they're elite armor, they roll less dice, which means they have a much higher standard deviation. You compare that to something like orcs, who gets roll 50,000 dice per turn. They're gonna average out. If you're rolling 20 dice on a 4-up invuln save, that's not going to average out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it like hyper elite armies with fewer shots. I don't like playing. I don't like playing against them or with them because they're super swingy. Just rolling less dice means you're going to get further from the average, and there's more variables to it.
Yeah.
That's my rant. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Tell me I'm being a pussy ass. Message me on Discord. Let me know how you feel.
Don't worry.
Has this
There'll always be
happened?
one person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody. I'm thinking like Cranston or somebody. You fucking pussy. If you guys have had situations like that happen, like I'm sure there's some people out there that have quit Warhammer because of this. Like, look, I want to hear the stories. I want to hear, because it makes me feel better that I'm not the only one. This has happened to me twice, and I won the first game, and it was also against Custodes. So you've got to watch out for those Custodes players.
Those motherfuckers.
I think they get scared because you bring like 20 models, not even with a Custodes army.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring like 100 Tau. And they're like, oh shit, I better cheat.
All them shield drones. We gotta cheat here.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just kind of bullshit. Hey, it's whatever. The answer to this is take more shield drones.
Yep.
Duh.
Idiots.
More shield drones. But we're trying to get Dylan into a tournament. If anybody's the pussy here, it's him. He keeps
It is me.
refusing. I don't know
It's
why.
not
Like
that I'm
you're
refusing.
good now.
I'm just a bum. I need to finish my shit. And I also have to do like 30 other things like all times. I'm like, back burner.
I face so many people with unpainted armies. There was a guy at that tournament that actually lost by 2 points because his army was unpainted. So he
Oh, that
won the
sucks.
game, but lost on paper. But it happens. It's still fun. Good time. Ah, so my rant's over.
All right, let's move on to store. Actually, I either want to see more of or see die. I would really like to see the fucking Shattered Legions die. Everything about them.
Just die. Yeah, there's 2 story arcs that I feel like are really just hammered the fuck home right now, and that is the Shattered Legion story arc. We see them in every short story book. It's like all the authors that write about the legions are like, let's write a short story, Shattered Legions, because that would be so much fun. And it's terrible.
The thing, there's a whole short story like novella that's called Shattered Legions, which I'm imagining is nothing but Shattered Legions, and I'm dreading seeing it.
Have we not got there already?
No, it's like
Oh shit.
it's further down. It's like in like the 40s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing that I'm like, I kind of wish that storyline ends with what's his face, the Iron Hand that like is calling people to the robot factory.
Oh yeah.
All the Iron Hands show up there and just become robots, and then Dorn sends them to the sun.
I'm fine with that. The only one I actually like want to see like do something like I want to see like Shuriken like randomly get back with the Raven Guard. Like, let's fucking get rid of those guys. All of them
Listen,
fucking suck.
well, what's crazy is the Iron Hands in the Angel Exterminatus storyline. They're cool. They're not even weird. They're
Yeah,
not that weird.
yeah, they were fine.
Like the guy that's walking around with Shuriken that saved his life.
Yeah, he is decent.
He's okay. He's okay. I mean, that story is all about Shuriken and the salamander, but hey,
Yep.
they were definitely my favorite characters. But they have like that whole dude in the heart machine, the
Oh
iron
yeah.
machine. I don't know what that's
Yeah,
about.
I don't know what the fuck that is about either, but man, I hate the Shattered Legions.
The Iron Hands really suck ass.
Yes,
What
they do.
if they just made? Here's the thing though, right? Because we read Deliverance Lost,
Mhm.
and that was too many Raven Guard.
There was.
It
The
was
part with the
they were
Raven Guard was
stupid.
yeah, they aren't very smart and like none of them are badass. And then we get introduced to one badass one. And I'm like, wait a minute. Who is this guy? There's no way he's Raven Guard.
And I don't know how far you are into Deathfire.
I'm like chapter 8.
Oh my gosh, I loved the salamanders. Now I really hope Vulcan dies so they can stop saying Vulcan lives.
Oh man, I've been listening to the audiobook while I've been writing,
Same.
and it's Vulcan lives. Like, cool,
Vulcan
man.
lives. He's like
Like,
crying it.
yeah, he like changes his voice specifically to say Vulcan lives. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
We get it. He's
Yep.
alive. We know.
God damn. That's what I want to see. For stories dies, anything that has to like keep being repeated. Vulcan lives. No fear. I
Oh my
never want to see
gosh.
those again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is I think we hate the Iron Hands so much because all three of the Shattered Legions are a lot to take in large doses, and the Iron Hands just so happen to be the ones that are always like there's 20 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
that and like the Shattered Legions are they're just fodder.
yeah, like that
They're,
doesn't all their stories mean nothing.
yeah, they don't do anything for the fucking heresy. Most of them die.
All the salamanders definitely
Yeah,
die.
every single one of them.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because like I'm reading through Deathfire. And I'm like, man, I'm realizing the only reason I like the salamanders is because of Vulcan. Like, and
Yeah,
he's probably sitting there like, these guys are so fucking annoying.
I don't know. They're still not as bad as the Iron Hands, and man, it's just fucking hazing them.
I'm really moving towards the White Scars. I'm telling you what,
They're my favorite loyalist.
I'm getting there. So that's one. And the second one, I think, kind of falls similarly hand in hand, is I am so fucking tired of reading about Calth. I'm tired of reading about Ultramar. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yes, especially fucking Calth. Like,
Calth in
I
particular.
think Nick Kime has been hitting it really hard in that short story, and now in Deathfire is like, Calth's just propaganda and doesn't mean shit. And I'm like, I agree. It doesn't mean shit. Let's quit revisiting it.
Yeah, I think they handed Nick Kime like the executive staff, and he was like, first thing I'm gonna do is shit all over Calth. That was so stupid.
Yeah, like what happened there, like No Fear, very good. Like what
It was a
happened,
great book.
really cool. Why are we still dragging it out?
They harp on it forever, and we still haven't seen the greatest space battle scene of all history.
And you know what? I'm honestly fine if we don't at this point because they'll fucking keep talking about Calth in it.
I would love to just have it brought up. Yeah, it was really awesome. Should have been there. It was you had to be
Yeah,
there. It was
just
so
like a
cool.
side comment.
You should have seen that battle. Nuts, crazy shit happened. Literally, like 3 of the 4 Chaos Gods showed up. It was wild.
There was some shit.
Wow.
It's
Had to be there
basically what
though.
they did with fucking Horus and Malek.
Yeah, so the Unremembered Empire is okay. The problem with it is it's like you do everything else in Ultramar except talk about the Unremembered Empire. It's just one book. I want more of that. I want more fucking Sanguinius. being this like sub emperor. That's
Yeah.
like a big deal. We haven't even like gotten into it, and you don't even get into it that much in Deathfire.
Yeah, and not only that, like you have to think about like I think this is like briefly hit on Deathfire. Like there is some like pushback by like the citizens about it
Seriously?
because yeah, I mean, yes, you don't know if the Emperor's alive, but should you assume he's not? Probably not. Like it's okay to have like a like central station, but don't be like, we got a new Emperor. It's Angel Man. Also, my brother's around here killing people. Just an FYI.
I don't understand. There's so many actions that the Primarchs perform or characters will do that I'm like, why did you make that decision? There's so many better options. You're supposed to be a genius. Like what drove Gilliman to be like, we have to make an entire new Imperium? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, did it change anything? No.
And also, the Lion has this fucking teleporting machine in his fucking thing. Can
Let's
he
talk
not
about that.
jump through the fucking warp? Like, yo, we're at Terra.
He's
Surprise! What's
yeah,
up, Dorn
talking about
baby?
storylines I want to hear more of. That's a big one. And yet, you know what else I want to hear more of? Never thought I'd say it. I want to go back to fucking Caliban. What the hell's going on
Yeah,
at Caliban?
there has to be some shit going on with like Luther and them. Like
The
we saw,
Ouroboros.
yeah, the
The
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. I'm like, what the fuck's the Ouroboros? Somebody at the Discord said the Ouroboros was the worm. It's not the worm. I've looked it up. It's like a whole nother deity that never like even showed up in the previous books. Like it's supposed to be like ancient
Is it
Caliban god.
attached to the teleporting thing? Because someone also
It
mentioned that.
is.
Now
Yes, it
that's
is.
interesting.
It's got like a sister on Caliban, which might be why it picked the line. I want to hear more about that storyline. That's an interesting storyline.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
I would read an entire book about the Night Lord or Conrad Curse just killing people.
Yeah, we don't have
Where the
any
fuck is
actual Nightlord
Servitor?
books. That's what I really need to know.
I want that story. There's so much going on with the lion right now, and I hate the lion. But what's going on with Servitor and the lion ship? What's going on with the lion and Comrade Kurz? What's going on with the people on Caliban? That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah,
Like,
I honestly want to hear about Conrad Courage just dicking around fucking McCreek. Like, is he like gunning around killing civilians? Is he just like digging tunnels or some stupid shit? I don't know, but I would like to because it
I
sounds
would
interesting. Like, I want a POV from the Night Lord doing shit because we
that
don't
would be
really get that.
awesome. I would love for that story to end with like all of the loyalist Primarchs dead. This is how that story ends,
They're
right?
all in his bedroom and he's just talking to them.
That story ends with Rogel Dorn making his way to Ultramar after the war's over to try and deliver some hand of justice to Gilliman for starting his new empire. And everyone's dead. It's just Conrad Kurz sitting there, and and Dorn's like, "Oh my God, run!"
Oh shit!
It's
Oh god,
Conrad.
it's him.
Quick, get Lorgar to start the Ruin Storm back up. Like, he's got like a huge fear of Conrad too. I think that would work out.
Yeah,
I
man,
need.
dude, fucking dude's nuts.
They should have hired me to be an author. All right, next up, he kills everybody
Beautiful.
in a short story.
Yes, because that's the key.
10 pages long. It's just him murdering the Lion, Gilliman, and Sanguinius back to back.
It's just quick assassinations.
Yep. And then we never hear from Ultramar ever again. We're gonna have to retcon the entire 40K universe. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. Make sure we burn Cal too.
Oh yes. Do it
We need
again.
that out of there.
Do it
Yes.
again. Oh man. So that's a big storyline. I think I would like to like hear more of and less at the same time. Like we're gonna learn about if we're gonna do stuff with Ultramar, let's do stuff with the Lion and McCree and Sanguinius. Not even so much Gilliman. I kind of don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about Gilman either.
I want to see Sanguinius. I want to see the Lion dealing with their new sub War Master, sub Emperor title that they got going on.
Also, another one I'd like to have visited again is this might sound like a surprise. but the actual Alpha Legion. And like, if there is discourse between the two Primarchs, like, what are they planning? Are they still? Do they still fuck with the Cabal at all? Like, I want to know these things, and a not short story when they actually have their POV again.
I think one thing that's weird about them is like, yeah, I feel like it could just be a pamphlet. This is their plans. This is what they want to do. This is who they're currently allied with. But it's frustrating because I don't think we're ever going to get that because that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sitting here wondering, like, isn't that like whole Legion and rebellion of each other? Like, isn't that like a thing?
I think so.
And they're also fighting the Space Wolves? What's up with that?
Yeah. Also, this is one that has been that drives me nuts. So we heard at the end of Deliverance Lost that they took the gene seed thing. No one has fucking talked about this from the fucking Raven Guard. That it just disappeared.
I could give a shit less about the Raven Guard.
I could too, but they took the Emperor's gene seed thing. You think that would be a conversation somewhere?
We got to get that back.
Oh yeah, shit, well, where'd that go?
I can't remember. So the way that ended was like he handed the there was like two parts to it. There was like the original thing, and then there was like a decoder, and Alfarius kept the decoder, but he gave the original thing to Horus.
Yeah, something like that, because they had put like a virus in it or something.
And they gave it to
Fabius, I think.
Fabius. I would love to see more of Fabius. Fabius is a fucked up motherfucker, let me tell you. Yeah. I like it. I'm into it. Show me more of that. It's like super, it's quite scary. Like Fabius's torture chamber they're really like horror scenes. They do a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of like I don't want to see, just for my own purpose, I don't want to see any more stories about Dorne. Like, I don't want books. I like the short stories about Dorne and the Imperial Fists every once in a while. Just like one short story in every book that's just like, holy shit.
They're getting closer.
And like nothing is going on. Like, we need to build more walls. I like those like little cameos every once in a while. The Imperialists. I like that they don't have their own book because the whole concept is like they're just in the background, but it's just this ominous, foreboding thing. I like the way they're doing that. So I don't want a book about Dorne, but I know we're gonna get one.
Yeah, for sure. Return to Dorne coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's whatever. Of course, I'd want to see more of the con.
Yep.
We got one coming up though. I know it's gonna happen. I think that's gonna be good. I want to see
really good.
Fucking Porter Robbo.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to him? He went into a black hole.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't finish. I didn't finish.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't remember.
The entire Legion was like, all right, well, we can't get out of here, this like crumbling planet. So Porter Robbo made them fly into a black hole. I want to see what the fuck happened to him. I also want to see, like you said, Shuriken, like what happened to that whole group. I hope we get to see that soon. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Phobos.
Phobos?
Phobos.
Phobos.
Does that mean anything to you?
No.
It's a book. It's coming up.
I mean, Pharaohs?
Yes.
Where did the O's come from?
Well, Phobos is a type of armor. So I think I just like mixed it up.
That's why I just stared at you. Like, what are you saying right now?
Phobos? Phobos? Weird.
I was like trying really hard to decipher. I was like, is this ever ringing any bells?
I'd like to see what the fuck is happening with Magnus and his shards.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't actually seen the Thousand Suns in a while.
Started getting some short stories about him. Armin's picking up. He's using Lucius for some reason.
Yeah. We have Space Wolves coming up against, I think, with Bjorn as the
I
main
kind of hope.
character.
Is that in Wolfsbane?
I think so.
Is that the one where they go onto the Vengeful Spirit?
Gotta do Vengeful Spirit Part 2. I hope he follows the fucking markings.
I swear to God, if they don't even mention the markings, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that was
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
That literally just would have been the death of acting curse. That's all it would have
Yeah,
been.
that's all it was for.
You could have just said the dude died of a heart attack. I would have accepted it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we could have never seen him again. I'd be like, oh yeah, acting, bad guy.
Man, I hope we get a follow up to Outcast Dead. Psych.
Oh, we kind of do, right? With
Vengeful
Severian.
Spirit. Yeah. I don't want to hear any more of the Mechanicum. I think that's fine. Write a book. Leave me alone. Gosh, I don't think there's any like. I don't care anymore about Garo and the Grey Knights.
Not Aaron, sir.
Yeah, whatever. I want to see what's up with Magnus. I want to see what's up with the Khan. I want to see what's going on Caliban. I want to see the Alpha Legion. I want to see what the fuck is up with the Remembrators from the Thousand Suns.
Oh yeah, them
What
too.
the hell have they been?
I would also like to hear about, I don't know, the Emperor and the Custodes fighting the fucking demons.
I know we're getting it.
Is that
but it is
Master
a while.
Mankind?
Yeah, Master of Mankind.
I hope I get that book before we get to there. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm like 4 books down now. We've been through 4 books that I have been unable to obtain.
I've still only at. I think I've had all of them. I'm still waiting for Gar to get here.
I don't have Garo.
Vulcan lives is close.
I don't have the right size for Betrayer or Angel Exterminatus.
I don't for Betrayer either. It sucks, but it's whatever. The binding doesn't even look that good of it, so it's just like, it's on the shelf.
I don't have Deathfire either. Those are the 4.
I can't believe I have Deathfire.
Like, good for you.
Yeah, just randomly at Barnes and Noble that Alex was at.
I gotta check myself some Barnes and Nobles. When it comes to how I want some stories to end, I would like to see. The problem is we know how most of them will end.
Yeah.
Right. But there are characters that we don't know, and I think like the big thing is the Cabal and with John Grammaticus and the Perpetuals. John Grammaticus is such an interesting character because he's somebody that's written into the story. He's a main character of the entire heresy. We have no idea what the fuck he does.
Yeah, that's like one thing. Like, I would actually like to have like maybe an actual full book of who the fuck all these guys are.
I really want there to be some sort of crazy difference in the ending to what we know happened and what we get in the actual novel series.
Yeah.
And I think the big difference needs to be in how the Perpetuals, what they do and what role they play. And like, I think maybe even like what actually happens to the Emperor, that kind of stuff. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah, agreed. There's so many like cool things they could do with Perpetuals that I'm pretty sure they don't do with. And that's annoying.
Do with.
Yes.
Yeah, that is kind of frustrating. Yeah, I really hope that we get some sort of thing with Servitor. I think it would be really cool for him to be a knight errant.
No, Grey Knight.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, that's the theory. I mean,
I keep mixing them up, right?
Yeah.
When did the knight errants become the Grey Knights?
Well, I think the only ones that become Grey Knights from the Knight Errants is Rubio.
Because he's a psyker?
Yeah. And Severian becomes one as well.
Interesting. Severian's not even a psyker.
Well, they get the Emperor's Gene Seed.
Um, okay. I wonder if does that happen in the heresy or is it afterwards?
I think it happens in like the Last Dagger or something, because the Grey Knights are not at the siege.
Don't they get like sent into the warp?
Yeah, so Malcador puts them all on Titan and then sends the entire planet into the warp.
They're like I hope there's a reason for it. I'm sure there will be. But like I think it's kind of a Malcador thing to do to not have a good reason.
Well, just in case they all die, they gotta have someone to kill demons, right?
Malcador is like, well, I have to get to the bathroom. But in order to withdraw that much energy, I must teleport Titan into the warp, and it's for the greater good of the Imperium.
Amen. I'm pretty sure it's in the warp for like thousands of years.
Oh, it's some stupid shit.
Yeah.
That's some like stupid Warhammer stuff. It's like they were fighting demons for thousands of years. What?
I don't even know if they were fighting demons in the warp the whole time. Like they were just like training.
They were like, well, this is where we vacation. This is they saw Horus coming and they were like, this seems more like a you guy problem, and then just teleports out.
I wonder if they get put in the warp. Are they just static in the warp and just like sitting there the whole time? Did they go around in a circle for thousands of years? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like how's the planet actually, like what happens with the planet?
Yeah.
Or if it's just chilling there and they're like, well, we killed all the demons in this warp sector, so we're just gonna chill.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Another
It's all,
thing that it's never going to happen, but I would have liked to seen happen, would be the actual resolution between Zahariel and Nimiel.
I hope Nimiel comes back and then kills the lion.
You know what? I am totally okay with this.
I'd love to see like a final confrontation between the Luther and the lion. And the Luther gets his ass beat while summoning Nimiel from the dead, and the Nimiel shows up, just does a slam dunk on the lion's head. It's like, what, bitch?
Fuck you for beheading me.
Yeah, just like completely kills him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm still loyal. That guy just sucked.
Dude's a fucking asshat.
Gave away a bunch of weapons to Port Rabo like a moron. Well, I'd love to see that.
Yeah?
I'd love to see that. I want there to be a moment. I know there won't be, but it's disappointing. Where like somebody really smart, let's say like Sanguinius, is chilling there, or Rogue Dorn would be better. Dorn would be better. You have like the lion show up to Terra, and he's like, "Oh, like where's the other half of your army?" He's like, on Caliban." Oh, why'd you leave them on Caliban? Because they're evil.
Personal differences.
I see. Okay, well that sucks. Well, we really need you guys to go take out those massive siege engines that poor Robopod. I have absolutely no idea where he got those from. Uh, uh and just have
Those are
Doran,
interesting looking.
yeah, just have Doran like you're a fucking idiot. But don't worry, I have an engine that allows me to teleport anywhere, the Imperium, anytime I want to.
Well,
Oh,
I'm gonna sit at Ultramar.
how long have you had that? Years, like well, literally. So I've had one at Caliban before you guys even showed up. Oh, okay. Somebody needs to kill this guy right now.
This guy's fucking up everything for us.
Somebody resurrect that Nimio guy. He'll take care of it. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if there's like anything else I'm like super. If I go through some of the characters and I like think about like Erebus, for instance. I want Erebus to die in a terrible way, but the question is when. I'd love to get more Erebus stories because I love how much I hate him. Like, what happened to him after he got his arm cut off and then subsequently got his face cut off by Horus? Like, I want to know.
Yeah, agreed.
What's he doing now?
I would like to see Corfarion actually die.
Yeah, Corfarion needs to be dead like 7 books ago.
Yeah, easily.
Corfarion is one of those characters that you're wondering why do you even keep this guy around? Like
Yep.
he shouldn't have an important role to play anymore.
Yeah, the biggest problem I'm seeing, like, as we go through these books is, like, I feel like a lot of books happened for, like, well, like, there's no point. It's like, oh, let's have these random, like, story arcs in here and really drag this out.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm concerned that the siege is going to be a massive hell in the cell, and they have just like contenders lined up on both sides. Okay, now you two fight. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
now you two fight.
Well,
Yeah.
ADB is doing the one that's coming out next, and it has Sanguinius, so I'm assuming that's going to be the Sanguinius and Horus fight.
Is it going to be Sanguinius and Horus?
I would assume so.
Did Sanguinius and Angron already fight?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. I'll have to read the siege when we get there because I think there's quite a bit of like fighting that's been unspoiled for me. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
I just want more Primarchs to die.
Yeah, agreed. There's some really shitty ones out there. Like Lorgar, the Lion, Mortarion, Corvus Corax.
Corvus Corax, yeah, I should have died a while ago. Vulcan, and then Vulcan again, and then maybe Vulcan one more time.
You gotta pump those numbers up. That's what
Yeah.
fucking Conrad did.
Yeah, Conrad's like, geez, I can just keep racking it up. It's like a slot machine. Just keep
Why
pulling the
would you
lever.
fucking die?
Yeah, he did try to like invent all these ways. I guess that would be very frustrating to Conrad. It's like
Yeah,
that's his spiel.
and you just can't do it.
I would like to see Servitor talk shit to Conrad for a while too. I think that would be fun to watch again.
Yeah, he his ability just to sit there and just talk shit the whole time is so beautiful. I love it so much.
You ever thought that your dad didn't love you because you were such a whiny bitch?
Fuck you, Servitor.
How could you do that? Don't tell me that, Servitor. That hurts my feelings. Yeah, so yeah, Servitor, I would love to see more about him, obviously. I want to see Servitor like claim his like rightful place as the best Space Marine of all time by kicking the shit out of what's his name?
Sigismund?
Sigismund.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Read the shit out of that, just him kicking the ever living shit out of him.
I think we're gonna see Sigismund versus Karn, but I don't think we're like we think Karn is that good. Like Karn's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's better than Sigismund or Servitor or even Armin.
Yeah, he honestly like hasn't impressed me that much in the battlefield. Like maybe I would be more impressed by him if he didn't have the nails.
Yeah.
But like when you just black out and just kill everything, I don't know if I'm that impressed with you.
The nails really ruin his character, I feel like.
I agree.
That's a good point. Just as the nails kind of ruin Angron's character. I'm very excited. So there is a scene that I know that occurs between two Primarchs that I am very excited, and it's an interaction between Angron and Perdravo. And I believe it's the next time we see the World Eaters. So I'm very excited about that because like the part I did read, I was like, wow, that's badass. It might be the most badass thing we read so far.
I'm excited for it. I mean, I just like the World Eaters. They're just fucking crazy, and I enjoy that. I'm also just imagining fucking Porter Rabo seeing fucking Demon Angron and just be like,
I already had to deal with one of these weird fucking things.
great. I had the snake guy, and now I have this fucking thing. God damn it. What the fuck?
Yeah, I just thought I would love to see the scene of Porterado like going into Horace's room and being like, can we talk?
Look, why do you gotta give me the worst of our brothers?
Like, you know that this whole thing is going to shit. It's just me and you now, right? Mortarion's grown like beetle wings. Fulgrim is fucking weird, but he did give me butt plug guns, so I'm okay with it. Angron is a weird demon fighting thing. Lorgar is still Lorgar, unfortunately. Conrad Kurz has a bunch of weird shit hanging in his room. I don't like to talk to him anymore. And who fucking knows what Alfarius is doing?
Yeah, I mean, Horus is definitely being carried by the Night Lords and the Alpha Legion. And I'm sure Porter Robo is going to carry them during the siege because he's going to be the only one in the right fucking mindset.
Yeah. I mean, Fulgrim has been completely fucking useless.
100%.
Absolute dog shit of an ally. I can't even think of anyone that's more useless than Fulgrim in this entire heresy.
Ooh.
Like, even the Shattered Legions are doing more to help their side than the Emperor's Children is.
Yeah, they really are. They got certain things. I mean, Dorn's building the defenses. We have. I mean, Gilliman's ready to rebuild the entire fucking Imperium on McCreek.
Yeah. I mean, the only person that hasn't really proven himself yet as far as what he can do is the Khan because he just joined sides. And, like, obviously Vulcan, but he's been dead 90% of the fucking time. Like, there's just not shit that he can do.
True. I mean, Magnus kind of
Magnus is
helped.
useless to everybody. Magnus is
Although, I don't know,
taking
he
shit
did a
out.
lot for the fucking traders by destroying the Astronomica.
That is true. I will be right back.
You're
One sec.
good.
Keep talking. I gotta go turn off this annoying ass washer.
So we have that going on. I mean, Manus died, so I guess the Iron Hands are pretty fucking useless. But like Gavin said, the Shattered Legions are doing more than that. Ugh, who else is left? I mean, Conrad's been doing so much shit. The has been pretty fucking useless as
Because of
well.
Conrad, yeah.
Yeah, because of Conrad. He also gave away siege engines to Porto
That's
Rabo.
true. Thinking about it now, maybe Fulgrim isn't the worst. Maybe it is the Lion.
It's
I
gotta
think
be
this
pretty
would be
close
fun.
between those ones.
We got to do this. I think this would be an interesting exercise. Imagine we're putting together a team, but it's like dodgeball picks, right? Like me and you were team captains,
Okay.
right? And like you got to go through and pick the Primarchs you wanted,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And kind of goes back and forth. What would our teams look like? So let's say you get first pick.
I get first pick.
Yeah,
I gotta go Sanguinius with pick one.
that's an interesting choice. I'm gonna go Alfarius.
Okay. Uh Boris.
I'm gonna go Porto Rabo.
Magnus.
You're getting your dick kicked in already, I feel like. Magnus is gonna sit on the sideline doing nothing.
Magnus is gonna stop everything in midair and then talk about how wonderful it is.
I think I'd probably just go powerhouse and go Dorn. Like I got Dorn and Porto Rabo.
I almost went Dorn. Khan.
God, he's doing nothing. I'm gonna go Night Haunter. Dude, you're fucked now. I got the Night Haunter, Alfarius, Porto Rabo, and Dorn. Those are the top 4 dudes that are doing the most.
Wait, are they not playing dodgeball?
Well, I mean, like, I'm just like saying, like, you're putting together a team. I use dodgeball as a way to describe how you're
Oh.
picking a team. But no, we're not playing dodgeball.
What are our teams for?
I mean, they're for winning the heresy.
Oh, for winning. Okay. Let's reverse. Let's go back to one.
Wow, way to cheat this whole system.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll stay where I'm at. Because I mean,
Oh no,
you
go
have
for it. Go for it.
Sanguini.
This
I
time.
mean, I still have a pretty strong team. I think I have. Although if you're fighting the heresy, that doesn't really make sense because I have fucking Horus.
You have Horus, you have Sanguinius, and I have Portorabo and Rogaldorn. You aren't going to have any walls, and you'll have no idea how to tear mine down.
Just come at me. It's fine.
Okay, so
Gilliman.
okay. So you have the Khan, Sanguinius, Horus, Gilliman. Who else do you have?
Sanguinius, Horus, Gilliman, and the con. That was it. It's just this 4.
And then you're one behind. You had Magnus.
Oh yeah, Magnus. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. This is where like you really start reaching the bottom of the barrel. There's somebody I'm missing that's important. I feel like you got Corax, you got Vulcan, you have. Oh, I'm gonna go Lehman Russ. Easy pick.
I will go. Shit. You know what? Give me Corax because I'm gonna need some fucking guerrilla warfare because I don't have walls.
So we got what? We got Lorgar, Materan, Angron, Fulgrim.
Vulcan Flush.
The Lion, Vulcan. We also have Ferris Manus. But when it comes to like their legions, they're in the heresy. Like, I don't know if Vulcan's a good pick.
All 3 of the salamanders just sacrifice themselves though.
I'll go Angron. I think Angron's more valuable during the heresy than Vulcan is, personally. I mean, Vulcan spends the whole time dead. At least Angron destroys planets.
That's fair. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to go Mortarion.
So I know like Ferris Manus isn't even an option, but I guess you could choose the Iron Warriors. You know what I mean? The Iron Hands.
Yeah.
All right, who are we missing? We got Lorgar. We got the Lion. We got Fulgrim, the Iron Hands, and Vulcan. I think Vulcan is the next pick for me.
Lion.
All right. Interesting choice. I'll go Lorgar. I feel like he at least did some shit. He's got so many bodies to sacrifice. Yeah, Fulgrim.
Give me the butt plugs.
So I'm left with the Iron Hands. Is that the
Yeah.
last one?
Yeah.
Oh man. I think I have the winning team here.
I don't know, man. I have fucking powerhouses.
I mean, but we have to think about this. You have Horus, you have Sanguinius, you have Gilliman, and you have Magnus. Nice picks, right? But
Yeah.
Magnus is useless, truthfully. I mean, I have Russ. That's it. I've already made you useless. And like Horus and Sanguinius, like, and Gilliman, like you just pick the same 3 Primarch.
You got the hammer and the anvil, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I think Horus, Sanguinius, and Gilliman are gonna have a hard time even going up against Portorabo and Dorn. Not to mention the fact that the Night Haunter is gonna kill the other half of your list.
By himself.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I have 2 of the Shattered Legions and Lorgar. That's rough.
That's pretty rough.
But you have Fulgrim and the Lion, which may be the 2 most ineffective groups.
Yeah, but if they're fighting.
I'm just saying, like, if we look at this, like the Lion gives me points. Fulgrim is a bit of a nil. Like, it's just like, hey, Fulgrim, you're on my team. We're gonna go take Terra. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go shove some shit in my body.
Okay, but if he's already there, he'll be like, all right, I'll go kill something.
Yeah, you just have to get him there. He's all weird. He's like, I'm gonna go ascend to demonhood. Like, that's not part of the plan, Fulgrim.
See, what we're gonna do is like, you a Fulgrim. We got a big ass dildo ready for your asshole. You just gotta come and get it. He's like, oh.
Oh my god. Where's it
Well,
at?
all you had to say was big ass dildo.
Oh, it's on Terra. Woohoo! I'm on my way.
Is he Mr. Hanky?
And it's an Eldar dildo. Oh my god. They're so smart. I love those guys. And it's really good with swords. Oh, me too. Bet you it's not as good as me. I'm gonna go fight the dildo now. Ah!
That's exactly how it'll go.
That's exactly what would happen.
But he
And
would be there.
He would be there. I hope he gets the shit beat out of him by the Khan. I'm pretty sure the Khan fights him. I think like the Khan at one point, we already read about this. I think it was in Scars where he told Fulgrim that he'd kick his ass.
Oh yeah.
And I think the scene kind of goes like Fulgrim shows up and the Khan's like, ugh.
What the fuck is that?
I don't want to go anywhere near that thing.
I understand. I would feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm gonna post these lists and see what they think, like team wise, who would win, since because this isn't like rank the best. This is like choose as if you're a team captain.
Yeah.
Which is basically what happened. You know, Horus sat there and the Emperor sat there. And the Emperor was like, okay, I get to go first. And then like took 7 people first. And he's like, sorry, they come as a package. You didn't know that? Yeah, Dorn and Gilliman and Sanguinius, they were a package deal.
Well, I mean, Horus was like, well, I'll take the guys with daddy issues, I guess.
Do you remember like playing like elementary school playground, like basketball or whatever?
Hmm.
And there were people that was like, well, we're a package deal.
No.
Yeah, that happened. At my elementary school basketball pickup games, there were like people like, no, like you have to choose both of us. It's like a legal contract. I feel like that's what happened.
Bitches, all of them. Yeah,
All
send
right.
me that list too. I'll put it on the Twitter too. Get a poll
Okay.
going.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to cover. I know there's not a lot. There was a lot of tournament drama stuff, a lot of just BSing about storylines that we want to see finish. But I blame that entirely on our community.
Yes.
It's their fault.
Yep. Bunch of
I don't
degenerates.
even know, like people listen to us. That's so crazy.
A decent amount.
This was your fault, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have another one of these, like 2 books. Or is it like after Deathfire?
We have Deathfire, and then we have another short story book that'll probably take us 3 episodes again. Lots of short stories, which is kind of cool. If you're listening and you're like, I don't really want to listen to like a 3-parter for a book, I get that, but it's like a bunch of small books, so it's kind of important to get an understanding of like none of the short stories are connected. So it's like we're reviewing like 5 or 6 short stories in an episode, which I think is useful. It's always fun to talk to people about all of the small short stories in the heresy that they may not have read and just be like, yeah, I know way more than you do. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's like this. You have that random piece of knowledge. You're like, what are you talking about? And you're like, oh, it's in this. And you're like, well, whatever. I'd argue with someone about Dark Angels before when he killed Nemiel. And you're like, they never did that. Like, yes, he fucking did.
You're telling me you never read the story about them shoving a butt plug up Fulgrim's ass? I actually have. I have had this conversation with people before. They're like, no, there was. They wouldn't have wrote that. I'm fucking telling you. It's called the Reflection Cracked. They shove a butt plug up Fulgrim's ass. This is canonical. It's in the books. It is a part of the Horus heresy. And they're like, wow, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, Graham's messed up.
Graham was abused as a child. There's no way around it. That's the only way his mind can go that way. Great guy.
Great guy. Weird shit going on.
Well, guys, I think that is it for us. We'll be back next week to preview Deathfire by Nick Kime. Get us some Salamander love going.
I'll give you a sneak peek. Vulcan lives.
Vulcan lives. God damn, I hate his voice.
Aim to say that like 30 to 40 times.
Yes. There's a quote, I'm pretty sure. We have to hit it. But, as always, hit us up in the Discord at Heresy Lodge is pinned at the top on Twitter. Email us at theheresielodge@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things on the YouTube. And we'll be back next week, guys. You guys have a good one.